Today, we're diving into a story that doesn't come from the heat of battle, but from the quiet, heavy dust that settles right after a war. It's a story that really gets at a question I think we've all wondered about. So, what does it really mean to be generous? I mean, is it just about giving when you have plenty to spare? Or is there something more to it, something deeper? That very question is right at the heart of the story we're exploring today, a final, unbelievable test for a fallen king. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off not with the roar of an army, but in the silence that comes after. We're on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, a place where the world has just been turned upside down. Just try to imagine it. The air is thick, the sounds of fighting have faded, and all that's left is this unsettling quiet. A war that shaped destinies has just ended. And this isn't a peaceful silence, not at all. It's an eerie, heavy quiet, you know? You can almost feel the echoes of the chaos still hanging in the air. Right in the middle of all this wreckage lies Karna. He's fatally wounded, bleeding out, his breathing getting shallow. But here's the thing that's just incredible. He has a calm smile on his face. And it's in this moment that two figures find him, Arjun and the divine Sri Krishna. Krishna looks down at his fallen adversary, and he turns to Arjun and says something truly profound. He basically says, yeah, you won the battle, Arjun, but Karna's real legacy, that's not going to be about his defeat. He'll be remembered as dhanveer.
So what does that even mean, dhanveer? Well, it's not just a title for someone who gives away some money. No, this is a title for a true charitable hero. It means your generosity is the stuff of legends, and that was Karna's reputation. It was who he was.
But for Krishna, that reputation needs one last final test. Even as Karna is literally breathing his last breaths, a new challenge is about to appear, and it's one that seems completely and utterly impossible. So what does Krishna do? He cloaks his divine form. He changes, becoming a simple, humble Brahmin, a priest, a beggar, and he walks up to the dying warrior. The stage is set. The disguised Krishna makes a simple request. I'm a yajak, he says, which means he's a supplicant, someone who depends on the charity of others to live. I need a donation. Think about that. He's asking for a handout from a man who has just lost everything.
And Karna, his voice barely a whisper, tells him the obvious. He's dying. He's defeated. He has already given away everything he ever owned. There is simply nothing left.
But the Brahmin isn't leaving. And what he asks for next, well, it goes way beyond wealth or property. It's a sacrifice that is just almost unthinkable. The Brahmin looks at Karna and says, your teeth are of gold. Give me that. And what's so powerful here is that he's not asking for an object. He's asking for a part of Karna himself. It is the most personal, painful thing you could possibly imagine someone asking for. And Karna doesn't hesitate for a second. He's so hurt, he can hardly move, but he finds a stone on the ground. With the last bit of his strength, he breaks his own golden teeth out of his mouth. But even that's not enough. He then cleans the blood from them to make sure it's a pure offering, and he presents them with both hands, a sign of the highest respect. In that exact moment, the test ends. The illusion of the poor beggar completely vanishes, revealing an absolutely staggering truth. And this just shows the incredible transformation. The old Brahmin is gone, and standing there before Karna in his final moments is Sri Krishna, in all his divine glory, his true form finally revealed. And then Krishna speaks. He doesn't praise Karna for his riches or his strength in battle. He praises him for this final act. Because here's the point of it all. A real donation isn't about giving from your surplus. It's about finding the courage to give when you are totally and completely empty. So, what is the big lesson here? What are we supposed to take away from this? Because this wasn't just a test for one dying man, it was a timeless lesson, written right there on the battlefield for all of us to see. This is what it all comes down to. This is the answer to the question we started with. A true donation, that's giving when you have nothing left to give. It's an act that isn't powered by what you have in your pockets, but by the sheer courage of your heart. The Great War ended that day. There were winners and losers, but this quiet, intense moment between a dying warrior and a god, that's the story that has echoed through time, outlasting even the memory of the battle itself. And so we're left with this thought to chew on. Karna was a king, a warrior with immense power. But was his greatest strength his ability with a bow? Or was it this one final selfless act? It really makes you wonder, is there something out there that's even greater than power? Maybe. Maybe it's the courage to give your heart, especially when that's all you have left.